Okay, so let's talk about Thor Love and Thunder, which is getting either you love it or you hate it type of response. And I was kind of surprised, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think after Ragnarok, we were just expecting for Thor to be honest, to be over. I'm gonna say it. I really expected like that was the last Thor movie because I think it would have ended on a good note. But of course, I think that we really got something great going here, and I'm excited to see exactly how they finish this story for Thor now, since they pretty much are starting a new sort of cycle for him, I want to say. So, like I said, I think Thor's arc really wrapped up well in Endgame, especially with everything that happened in that. So I really didn't see much anything else happening, and I just expected to see him in Guardians 3. But here we are. So let's talk about pretty much what we're following here. But before we do that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, notification bell. On the road to 25,000 subscribers. We're about to hit 22,000, but let's get into it. So pretty much Gorr the God Butcher. Gorr the God Butcher, played by Christian Bale, has been one of those characters, one of those like villains that we've just been anticipating, because we know the capability of Christian Bale. We know Gorr the God Butcher is such an insane villain when you really break him down, and so we were all here waiting for this. So pretty much we get the same story we get with Gorr and his daughter going through the desert as they're dying, and Gorr praying, receiving nothing, and then his daughter dying and he has to bury her. So pretty much this would make this man snap. And so when he gets the chance to meet a god and he sees that there was nothing, like these gods didn't care at all, this is what makes Gorr pretty much turn and become this god butcher that he is, and he's able to pick up the Necrosword and easily kill this god. And then he swears that every god will die. Now the Necrosword is going to kill him no matter what, because now he is cursed. And so that's pretty much Gorr right there, and I think the way that he's set up and everything really tells you that this villain is so conflicted, and I think Christian Bale played that part so well to the T of what this character should have been like. Now, many people say also that we didn't get enough time with this character, but we'll talk about that probably in another video. Let's just keep on with the story here. So pretty much we see that Thor now has himself like the Guardians of the Galaxy and all of that, but there really isn't much like of direction for him of where to go right now. And I think that definitely sets up Thor for having, I guess you could say, a midlife crisis of sorts, right? And I thought that that was an interesting thing to sort of have with Thor that we don't really have that much with any of the other Avengers, but that's because we've gotten more movies with Thor. So I think being able to explore more of this definitely comes with the fact that we have more screen time with him. So pretty much we learn with Thor that Sif is in danger and he's going to go help. And now we see that the Guardians pretty much ditch him and they're going to do their own thing, get ready for Guardians 3. And now Sif is there without an arm. And now Thor takes her back to New Asgard. And that's where Sif, it's revealed, was a trap. And now Gorr wants Stormbreaker, which he wants because it possesses the power to be able to open the door to eternity, where he can ask for whatever it is that his heart desires. And so pretty much we're starting to set up things here, and then we get Jane Foster as well. So with Jane Foster, we knew that if they were following the comics, that this was just going to be a heartbreaking story. And yes, they are following the comics here when it is revealed that Jane actually is going through stage 4 cancer and hasn't told anybody. She's pretty much trying to use like all of the resources, anything she can find to be able to find a cure. There is no cure for her though, but she decides to pretty much turn into Mighty Thor after pretty much getting the attention from Mjolnir, and now here we are with Jane Foster as Mighty Thor. Now the only thing with this, however, is that as long as she's wielding the hammer, she is healthy, but the fact of the matter is that her health deteriorates much faster with her wielding the hammer. So she becomes this mighty superhero that is dying faster than she already was while she holds this hammer. And so it really sets her up even more as this sort of person that is going to pretty much fight to the death to defend New Asgard from Gorr's attack now. So that was definitely something that really will like touch you there, right? So when Gorr pretty much fails at trying to get the Stormbreaker, he then has to kidnap the children of New Asgard and is using this as bait. And now he has Thor following him into the Shadow Realm. So then we see Thor, Jane, Valkyrie, and Korg going to Omnipotent City, which is the city of gods, to ask Zeus for help. And now Zeus is not going to like help in any way possible because he knows of the Necro Sword and he knows that it's capable of killing him. And now he's pretty much that Thor has to stay here because it's going to be a sort of safety issue now that Thor knows where the city is. And so Thor and everybody have to escape and they have to fight Zeus off. Ultimately, they are able to escape, and then Thor learns actually about Jane's condition and what's happening with her. The whole dilemma she has with wielding Mjolnir, and then pretty much her health deteriorating even faster. And so they actually pretty much get this whole tender moment where Thor really talks about how he really feels deep down, all of that. Of course, this doesn't really last long as they arrive at the Shadow Realm to fight Thor and the creatures. So pretty much here we see a defeat as Gorr is able to take Stormbreaker, wound Valkyrie, and then pretty much everybody's just down. Jane is in the hospital and Thor decides that he is going to pretty much handle this. He wants Jane to recover, he wants a future with her, and she's gonna stay. So when they get to the Gates of Eternity, Gorr uses Stormbreaker to break the seal, but Thor arrives and gives his power, well, part of it, to the kids so that they can help fight these shadow creatures. So then they manage to return to New Asgard, and Jane pretty much decides, you know what, I'm gonna help. This is gonna kill me, and this is the end, but I'm gonna help you defeat Gorr. So Gorr pretty much is like, too late, I open the door now, and he goes inside. This is where we see Gorr, Jane, and Thor at the front of Eternity, and Thor pretty much begs and tells Gorr that he doesn't have to do this, that he doesn't have to be this person, that he can be better, and to ask to bring his daughter to life. Pretty much we see that Gorr does this, and he is going to bring his daughter back to life, and then Jane and Gorr die. The film pretty much ends with Thor taking care of Love, who is Gorr's daughter. Thor, Love, and Thunder. So pretty much that's where we end, and that's pretty much how this all is over with, as we see that Gorr the God Butcher pretty much figures that now that he has this sort of power that these gods have and all of this, and is able to do whatever he wants when he is at the Gates of Eternity, decides to be different, even though he can be something like completely different, and he wants to pretty much give life back to his daughter and give her another chance. And I thought that that was interesting to see as well. And Jane also giving her life to save others and putting herself at the front of danger and ultimately death is something that is honestly breathtaking and just insane to see, I think. And I think it really sets a mood of how Thor sees Jane as well, and Jane pretty much giving us a performance that just leaves you like jaw drop. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see as well with Gorr's daughter, where that leads her into the future of the MCU. We don't know exactly how many more movies Chris Hemsworth will do with Thor, but there is definitely going to be another Thor movie due to the end credit scene, which we'll talk about in another video, so stay tuned for that. But like I said, yeah, I think that that was a definitely interesting ending there. And I think that they're hitting the sentimental beats there, especially with Jane Foster and everything that happens with her, also with Gorr. And I think it's just a movie about love and how love, and it can sound cheesy, right? Love transcends, but it really does. And I really did enjoy that aspect of it, of the movie itself. So definitely want to check out some more. Does it beat Ragnarok? No, but it's right under Ragnarok for sure. So let me know your thoughts and your opinions on it down below. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, notification bell on the road to 25,000 subscribers. We do have that post-credit scene talk coming pretty soon. Actually, it should be up by the time you're watching that video, so go check it out on the channel. Hit that subscribe button on the road to 25,000 subscribers. I'll see y'all next time. Stay safe, stay positive.